A very good morning, everyone. My name is Tanish, and today we are going to look at the market news, the morning market news with Market Plus by Tradia. The headline for today is the US announces support for COVID vaccine intellectual property waiver. Now, this is a huge shift in the US stance from being one of the major opposer in the WHO against this policy, and now it's actually going to support. Now let's look at the breaking news. The Group of Seven nations is considering a US proposal to counter what the White House sees as China's economic coercion. The Group of Seven, the G7 countries, are going to meet very soon. They're going to discuss the US proposal, while UK has said that as being the host country, they are going to call out China on the alleged human rights policies. At the same time, it's going to maintain cooperation on other fronts like climate change. And the US SEC chair says reviewing short selling swap rules after GameStop and RCO Savings. Now, we all know what happened with GameStop and RCO Savings. And we need to understand that US SEC chair is just stating that at this time, the big investors should tell the information of stock selling and all the information that they have of about the bets which are going to go wrong to the other investors, the small investors, in order to make sure that they are protected from the risk of apps which allow trading and promote more risk. Now let's look at some of the domestic news. US approves departure of non-emergency government workers from India. India, UK to reduce trade barriers in food, medical services. CCI finds prima facie cases of abuse of dominance and anti-competitive conduct against Tata Motors. Jharkhand government extends lockdown like restrictions till May 13 amid a surge in COVID-19 cases. Tata Steel will reduce debt levels by $1 billion this fiscal. European Commission allocates 2.2 million euros to respond to COVID-19 surge in India. Roche India gets emergency use approval for antibody cocktail used in COVID-19 treatment. BCCI says it faces $270 million hit from IPL suspension. So apparently, it's not just the fans who are sad about IPL being suspended. Chemplast Sanmar files rupees 3,500 crore IPO papers. Tata Steel quarter 4 earning results reports net profit of rupees 6,644 crores against rupees 1,481 crores last year. Oracle Financial Services Q4 results reports net profit up by 7% to rupees 46 crores. Tecos gear makers divided over 5G trials. JSW Hydro Energy to issue USD denominated notes in overseas markets. Hyderabad-based Natco Pharma has filed for a waiver of patent rights to manufacture rheumatoid arthritis drug, Barcelin. JSW Future Energy has signed a power purchase agreement (PPA) with Solar Energy Corporation of India for 540 megawatt of wind capacity. Now let's look at some of the world markets and data releases. SGX Nifty has increased by the point by 0.29%, while Kospi has seen an increase of 0.6%. Hang Seng has seen an increase of 0.86%, and Nikkei 225 has seen an increase of 1.98%, while S&P 500 saw an increase of only 0.07%. At the same time, Nasdaq was down by 0.37%. Gold saw an increase of 0.12%, and USD to INR ratio has increased by 0.02%. Now let's look at some of the data releases. Composite MI, PMI, and Services PMI. Both for, we were previously rated at 60 and 60.1 respectively, and are now forecasted at the same at 60 and 60.1. It is said that an increase of PMI over 50 means there are expansionary policies. This means there are going to be expansionary policies in UK very soon. The BOE interest rate decision was previously rated at 0.10 is now again forecasted at 0.10%. In the USA, the initial jobless claims were previously rated at 553K is now forecasted at 540. The Q1 earnings releases for today are Adani Power, Adani Transmission, Coforage, Credit Access Grameen, Hero Motocorp, IIFL Finance, Procter and Gamble Health, Sunram Fasteners, Tata Consumer Products. Now let's look into the market. So looking for the market, we would like to call upon our head of research, Mr. Amit with us, to have a discussion on the market.
Thank you, Tanishq. Uh,
So what is the situation with?
we'll just start with Sensex actually. Sensex seems to be very close to the support levels that we can see, and it's at the support level of the channel. So we should see the Sensex go up till 49,668 levels, which would be the next resistance. On the upside, we could go further up till 51,000. On the downside, if the channel breaks, the first support should be around 48,000. Going back to Nifty, Nifty also is showing a similar chart pattern. We are seeing a very short-term channel, an uptrend channel in the Nifty with the Ichimoku cloud very close. We should see some resistance at 14,650. But at the same level, if it goes up beyond that, the next resistance would be somewhere around 14,834. Beyond that, the final resistance should be around 15,200. So that's it from Sensex and Nifty. We go to Bank Nifty and we see a similar pattern again being formed on the Bank Nifty as well. We have the trend channel forming in the Bank Nifty, which has been supporting at least 4 times. So this is the 5th time that it would be supporting it. So it should again see a high of 33,690, 700 levels. Furthermore, it could go up to 34,800 levels. Let's look at Sensex. Let's look at CNX IT, the Nifty IT index. We have a parallel channel in the CNX IT index. It's a parallel channel, so there's no uptrend or downtrend here. However, in the very short run, we can see a trend line which seems to be acting as a support. On the upside, we should see Nifty IT reach 27,000 very soon. On the downside, if this particular line breaks, we should see it go down up to 24,200. Let's go to CNX Energy now. CNX Energy seems to be having a long-term, a very short-term trend channel. We are at the bottom of that trend channel, so we could see some very positive moves coming out from all the heavyweights on CNX Energy, Nifty Energy, which are probably Reliance Industries, you have IOCL. So all those industries should go up from here. We are seeing some very positive flows coming out from this. This should go up till 18,400. Furthermore, it could go up till 18,700. Let's look at the pharma sector now. The pharma sector seems to be having a very wonderful run. We are not sure how the current news that has come out from the pharma sector about the US waiving of its IP opposition. So it was earlier opposing the IP waiver, and now it has been supporting it at the WTO. So if, let's say, this particular waiver goes forward, we should see all those vaccine manufacturers who have a kind of patent agreement. Let's say, for example, AstraZeneca, we see Bharat Biotech, even Dr. Reddy's, which has a licensing deal with Sputnik V. So all those should lose out on this particular news. But the other manufacturers who don't have that kind of a licensing deal or that kind of a patent for COVID drugs should see some fallback, should see some highs into the market. Again, another very positive news that we had seen earlier coming out was Zydus Cadila, very sure of going into the phase 3 trials, because of which it had already approved, it had already gone to the government with the phase 3 trials with the emergency authorization requirements. So that again would be a very positive news. For CNX Auto, we are seeing a very short-term trend line again. So this should go up till 9,815. So that should be the level which we should be targeting. On the downside, there's a Fibonacci support at 9,500. So that is probably the downside. Further fall would ensure that it goes much beyond that. Let's look at FMCG now. FMCG has been within a triangle pattern. although it also has a corresponding downside trend. We are very close to the upper bound of that downside trend. We expect that this particular index might actually break on the upside. If it breaks on the upside, we should see the first resistance level somewhere around 35,000. Let's look at the final index for today, and that is CNX FinServ, which is financial services. So again, we have a very simple trend line, which has been in play for a decent time now. So this trend line should actually convert into a trend channel very soon. We expect it to convert into a trend channel, then test somewhere around 16,400 levels. So that's it, Tanish, from my end. You can continue with your report.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amit. And I'm pretty much sure all the information that you gave us is going to be very helpful for all of our viewers. So, with this, I would like to sign off for the morning report. But before I do, I would like to tell all of you that all of this information is strictly for educational purposes only. We are not SEBI registered investment advisors. So, please do your own research before investing. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. With this, we sign off.